Hey guys, I'm Mark Scott. Thanks for checking out another voiceover tip. A couple of weeks ago, I received a question from a voice actor about a certain project that they had been offered, and they were wondering whether or not they should do it and what I thought about the project. Now, from a rate standpoint, everything was in line, right where it should have been. And there were no issues with the client either. There were no red flags that made them concerned about working with this particular person. Their issue was a moral question. If I do this project, is it going to have an impact on my business, or is it going to have an impact on me professionally? The voiceover in question was to do narration for erotic literature. And this particular voice actor wanted to know if they did it, was it going to have a negative impact with clients that they are currently working with, or could it potentially impact clients that they hope to work with down the road? Basically, are people going to see that I did this voiceover and look at me in a different light? And that is a really great question, and one that doesn't have an easy answer. In life, there are areas that are black and white, and there are areas that are gray, and I think a lot of voice actors would agree that this one kind of falls into that gray area. Now, should it have an impact on you and on your business? Absolutely not. Could it? Yes, it absolutely could. And that's what makes it kind of a tricky issue to deal with. And that leads me to another question that I was asked this past week. It came on Twitter from Jason, and he wanted to know if there were any circumstances where I would turn down a project for moral or ethical reasons. Now, that question I can answer, but keep in mind that this is going to be personal. This is something, the moral ethical question is one that is going to change from voice actor to voice actor, from individual to individual. But there are a few different things that I take into consideration in my own business, whether or not I want to participate in a project. First one may seem stupid to a lot of people, but if the script is laced with profanity, I'm not going to do it. I'm not a guy that uses profanity, and so I don't really want to have that on my resume. I have no need to do a project like that. So if there's a lot of swearing in the script, I just politely tell the client that I can't do it, explain why. Sometimes they're willing to make script changes. Sometimes they move on to another voice actor, and that's fine too. Second thing I consider, is this a message that I can endorse? Here's an example. I was once given an opportunity to do a sales letter for a website, and the pay was amazing, but the message of the sales letter didn't sit well with me. It was basically a sales letter that talked about how a guy can make any woman want to sleep with them. And that was just not a message that I was comfortable having my voice and thereby my name attached to. And so I decided to decline the opportunity to do the project. And while we're on the subject of the message, what about the product? Is this a product that I'm willing to endorse? And that could come in a lot of different things. It could be a political candidate or an actual product, a consumable product. So is it something that you would endorse? Is it something that you would use? Is it something that you would be comfortable with your friends or family using? And if not, then maybe that's a job that you're going to want to pass on. If you can't endorse the product, can't endorse the message, maybe it's time to move on. And this final issue, it's going to seem very simplistic and probably sort of stupid to some people, but at the end of the day, it works. And I call it the grandma rule. If my grandma knew that my voice was on this project, whether it was for a brand, for a product, for a service, for a message, for a political candidate, whatever the case may be, if my grandma knew that I had voiced this, would I be willing to let her hear it? And would I be proud of it? Or would I be embarrassed because grandma's not going to be very happy about the fact that this is something that I attached myself to? And like I said, that might sound silly to a lot of you. It might sound stupid, but in my own career, it's actually been a very good reference point and a very good guideline for me to follow along. Moral and ethical issues in voiceover are always going to be a personal issue, but it's definitely something that you want to think about so that when the time comes, you already know what your answer is going to be. Hey guys, I really appreciate all the voiceover questions that you are sending in. If you've got a particular question that you would like answered, leave it in the comments below or get in touch with me through social media. You can leave it on Twitter or on Facebook, and hopefully I'll be able to address it in an upcoming video tip. Don't forget, you can also send it through my website at markscottvoiceover.com. If you want more free advice to help you grow your voiceover business, sign up for my newsletter at newsletter.markscottvoiceover.com.